trash run, but I actually took what most of the world calls a real day off today. I rarely take a complete day off, and I did. Had a very busy, very interesting, and very draining 10 days or so. And I took a step back and I went to my mom's, and she's got a neighborhood pool that it's mostly older people and settled families that live over there. And I had the pool practically to myself with my grandchildren. I went on and asked them if they'd like to come, and they did, and we just had a glorious day outside today. I was so thankful for that. I went by a little local deli. Ooh, there might be something interesting right there. I might have to go look. Yeah, it's a little John Deere or something. Might have to look at that. Let me put you on pause for a minute. Well, I'm back in the car. I saw John Deere sticking out of there. I didn't know what it was. I thought it might be one of those little tractors, and I've sold several of those for around $100, 125. I could sell it for a bit more if I held on to them, but I try to flip those pretty fast. But people use them down here in the South anyway as kind of like a mailbox surround. I thought that's what it was, but it was actually a newer little John Deere riding toy type of thing, and it wasn't what I thought it was, so I did a pass on that. Somebody will want that maybe. They want to buy a $50 battery for it, which I don't. But back to my story. I decided to do a trash run on the way home. I had gone by for a almost month late salad bar freebie that I got for my birthday from one of the local delis, and I went by and picked that up. I've got it and I'm taking it home, and thought I would just trash run real quick through one of my favorite little neighborhoods. I've already found some hardware. I always pull it off of the pieces. I like to salvage what I can and not feel like that I can't take the hardware. Somebody else can put hardware back on that piece and do something else with it, and I don't need the piece, so I just kind of salvage what I can. That's kind of what's been going on the last 10 days. It's been a multitude of things. Everybody says things come in threes. I think we had them in 10s and 12s and all of that in my family. It was several things from air conditioner going out for 2 days, and of course we've got a little baby in the house, 5-month-old baby. Air went out and cost us several $100s to get it fixed. The next day the plumbing went out in the kitchen, and that cost us a decent amount to get that fixed. I was told within a couple of days of that the kids' car was acting up. They've got a little van. It was acting up, and they don't know if it's a fuel issue or whatever it is. And she had a flat tire on it the next day after that, which was the same day that I found out that I have a transmission leak in Miss Daisy, which is my $750 car. So obviously I'm not going to put a new transmission in it if it ends up being something like that. It was just wave upon wave of those type of things. And those things happened right in the middle of my ex-husband having a severe gastric bleed that was undetected from an ulcer. And I had just done their estate and got his mama moved, and I got him moved, and his sister got moved, and we liquidated his and his mom's house that they were living in since my father-in-law passed away about 7 months ago, I guess, 6 months ago. And realizing that he had broken 2 ribs and he was in severe pain. And the short story, which was a very long story, is this is a week later of him coding right before they were going to do a scope on him to see where the bleeding was coming from. The man coded on us and we almost lost him. And my ex-husband and I are very good friends. If you see many of my old videos, you might see him in my videos. It's Dwight. By the time that we got to the hospital, they had given him multiple units of blood. By the time that they did surgery last Monday, which is a week ago today, they really had the family talk with us. They really didn't expect him to even be able to go to surgery, them to get him stable enough to do that. And if he did, they were extremely skeptical, and that's the word that the doctors and nurses used, skeptical that he would pull through. As of today, he still has some things that he's dealing with, but the man has been in ICU until day before yesterday. They have put him in step down. And he doesn't have solid foods yet. They're still trying to get that regulated, but he was off the breathing tube 2 days later. And the man is pretty much a walking miracle according to the doctors, because he was given 34 units of blood in about a 36-hour period. And if you don't think that that will make you reevaluate where your life is, and I'm not talking about him, I'm talking about me, then I don't know what rock you're under. Everything stopped. I laid down my business because he is Papa and he is still a dear friend of the family and myself, and he is family, and we all just kind of pitched in together and we did what needed to be done to get bills taken care of for him. He's all of his first of the month bills for his brand new little house came due the day that all of this happened, so, or they were coming due, you know. Yeah, it makes you reevaluate life a little bit. There's been other people I've watched even recently, people that talked about, you know, when you're reselling business, you know, you've got to have processes and plans in place so that if you go down, somebody else can pick it up and do what they need to do, or that it will run on its own, or both. I'm a pretty organized person, and I do have a lot of things that people can do for me, but I don't have a spouse, and I don't have people in my home, and I don't have, well, I have people in my home, but not people that work in my business. I have no children working in my business, no grandchildren working in my business. I have no employees. I am pretty much a one-man show. And while I've realized that, it made me realize that I'm just a, God forbid, hospital visit away from my business closing down if it can't go on. So I have spent the last week sitting in hospital waiting rooms and various and asunder other places until the day before yesterday, when I was able to kind of get back to somewhat of a normal life for me. I have been reevaluating some things. I've been tossing around the idea of getting into a little bit of Amazon, and I've put it off, and I've said, oh, well, you know, I'm busy with this and busy with that, and estate will come along, and I'll think, well, I'm really supposed to be retiring, but I'll handle this one. Then it'll divert my attention over there, and I'll jump over on that lily pad for a little while. And that's all fine and good, because estates pay good money and all of that, but pretty much other things have to kind of go off to the side, or if they don't, I'm up till 1, 2 in the morning trying to do Etsy postings and Facebook marketplace postings and eBay, and setting up things in between times for people to pick up, and just all kinds of stuff, and wearing myself out. So it's made me realize that I need to go on and get something going on Amazon, for one thing, because it will be something that's a little more steady if I did have to go kind of into slow mode. Not only that, it's something that family could do a little bit better if they are taught how to do FBA. I think my 11-year-old granddaughter could handle what I need to do once I've got a process set up. So that's in the plan book. I also want to finish that book that I keep talking about that I'm writing. I also want to get in place some replenishable type things, like from my cleaning business, I've got old forms and things like that I can sell over and over and over, and that's something that would just go out digitally. It's just a matter of me getting in there, getting off my rear end, and doing something about it. As you can see, I'm not finding much trash now. I did, but apparently I'm supposed to just be talking to you. But here it is, a week later, from all of the craziness, and everything seems to be moving forward, although slowly, for Dwight and for the family. In the meantime, I had some really large expenses during this period of time, and so I not only had income flowing in properly, I had some, but not, like it was. I had no estates, of course, that I was working on, because I had just finished his, and I wasn't taking another one right now. And then we had this extreme flood of bills to the tune of several $1,000 after it added up. And then I had a friend that will remain nameless, actually 2 friends, that knew about things that had gone on, and they called me up and they said that they wanted to help offset the time that I had been out of work, basically. And if you don't think that's humbling, it is, and I was very grateful. I've done that many times for people in the past, and I truly believe that God brings that circle around. And I thank them, of course, you're a reseller or not, everybody gets to a point that they can't see the forest for the trees when it comes to their own life. Other people can see you whirlpooling, spiraling down. They can see you working too hard and too long and getting frustrated and getting edgy. Not that any of that happened, of course. Yeah, right. But they can see it before you do. And the wise person sees it before it really becomes attached to what your life is really supposed to be about. So this is just kind of a meandering. I was hoping to find some more trash, but you know, maybe I just found treasure this time. Take a look at your life today. See what it's about, what it's supposed to be about. And then take your little ruler from point to point and see if it's really going in the right direction and how far you've got to go, and if you've kind of gotten off the path a little bit. Dig it out a little bit and see what that path's supposed to be. Don't be afraid to change it midstream if you have to. Lily pad jumps, and it's okay as long as you don't miss the lily pad. Happy junking.